Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. Hang on as I reach. All right, here we go. So, we are going to go ahead and take a look at today's topic message, but we're going to look at it for two different dates. So, I'll do two videos basically in one just because I don't like the fact that I've been running a little bit behind and I like these to come out a bit in advance. So, for the message for January the 3rd, and then we'll also do the 4th. But let's start with the message for the 3rd. We have an Ace of Wands. Could be a day of passion. The 3rd could have a day of a brilliant idea that could come into someone's mind. This could be something that they'd like to, Wheel of Fortune, an idea that could be put into play and really gain traction right now. This could be, let's say, a creative idea, something that sometimes I look at the torch almost like a pen in the hand. So maybe a good day to keep a little notebook handy, in the back pocket or the purse or the bedside table in case a really great idea pops into mind. Sometimes this is very divinely inspired. Like, I feel like these are the wheels of a character's mind. So they could be incredibly creative. If we are talking about an artist or something who's had like a creative block, it could really be removed. And creativity, at least if you're anything like me with creativity, you either have like a time where the river is flowing or where the river is totally freaking dry and you're like, is it ever going to rain again? Whether it was inspiration for dance or for painting or writing, all those things come and go for me. And I kind of feel like that's, either when I'm fatigued or when I need to give my energy to something else for a period of time, or when I need to work out something that is blocking me because of me. Um, Oftentimes it's fatigue for me too, though. Four of Pentacles. It says to keep that great idea to oneself on the 3rd. It says this could be an idea for a business or something. And it says, ooh, it's a good idea. Six of Pentacles. Hold it close, mull over it, refine the idea, and maybe share it only with a couple of really close people that you would bring in as, like, this is somebody I would want to do this with, or this is the financial backing I would want for this, or this is, it just says that on the 3rd, a character that has a great idea, and it could be a flood of great ideas. Keep those ideas to themselves, at least sit with it maybe for 4 hours or 4 days and flesh out the idea, write out an outline of what the idea is. Let those, and maybe it's just give 4 minutes to a great idea and write down everything that comes to mind about that great idea. And then think about it and then figure out, who would I share this with? Not shout it from the mountaintops, but pick the one person on earth who either would be the confidant that you could say, okay, I have what I think is a great idea. Poke some holes in it. Tell me why it's a crappy idea. Tell me why it wouldn't work. Tell me what kinds of things I need to go back to the drawing board on. Or tell me, I think we could do this. I think this could work. Do you want to do this with me? It feels like choose wisely the companion or the, colleague. We have 10 of Wands. It could even be that if a character comes up with a brilliant idea on the 3rd, if they bring that brilliant idea to someone after really thinking about it, this could be a brilliant idea that actually opens up lines of communication or heals a rift, or really, it's like an answer to some problems that maybe both characters have faced. It's like, hey, I've got this great business idea. And the other person is like, okay, I'm listening. Damn, that's a good idea. That you brought this to me, you shared this with me. Okay, that feels pretty heartwarm that you shared actually a great idea with me. And not only does it heal a rift between us, but man, this could be an amazing thing. This, I don't know why I am picturing, because I love that scene in Dumb and Dumber. Something about, like, so you went and whatever, used the last of our money to do whatever. I can't even think. It's been so many years since I saw that film, but he's like, you are a genius. But in this storyline, I think it really is brilliant. It just feels like, with the Page of Wands, I feel like somebody's getting on board with this. And I feel like it is a great idea that somebody has, and then they run it past a close confidant, And it really has a remarkable, like, I feel like it gains an exciting idea. And sometimes to have an idea is one thing, to share it with another person that we trust, that we know could contribute to it, then our idea starts to take real shape. Like a visionary kind of also needs somebody that's a realist to help them put their vision into something that is visible, right? And any kind of an artiste can come up with ideas, but they might need like a carpenter to actually build the set. I'm picturing this. We need a 10-foot tall tree over here, and a spaceship landing back there. Okay, who's the carpenter who can do it? I have the vision, I can sketch it out for you, but then you have to do the nuts and bolts of hammering and nailing it together. We have the moon. Where this thing could go, how this idea could blossom, all I can say is that sometimes great ideas end up yielding like secondary amazing outcomes. And that's what this storyline says. We have a character who has a great idea, but in truth, the harmony that it creates, or the friendship that it reestablishes, or the romantic connection that it creates might be the real prize. And it's like, wow, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect that we would actually get more out of this than just, hey, this is a business idea, let's do this together. I didn't expect that we would actually maybe find a lot more. We would delve a lot deeper. It feels like this has bigger repercussions than just what they think it's going to. And it just comes across as really nice. Page of Cups. It could turn into love. It could turn into new beginnings. We have, like a new chapter in a book sitting here on the tree of life. It changes the lives of, I think, two people for the better. But it starts out with an idea. It's like, let me put it this way. If a character has this idea that they'd like to share with a best friend that they haven't talked to in forever, or an old friend, or, the one person at work that they actually enjoy, or feel like is smart. And, I think that I could run this past them. And unexpectedly, these characters actually bond over this, and something new evolves out of it. And that was not the purpose of this, but it yields something beautiful anyway. I know, I like the idea that sometimes the real gift and the real surprise is what unintentionally comes to pass. So that's the message for the 3rd. Now let's look at the message for the 4th of January. What is the message for January the 4th? We have a 9 of Swords. We have the Knight of Swords. Somebody who's blue. We got somebody who's stressing. I don't know. This could be a couple stressing about their kid. Their kid could be busy living life fast, or this could be an individual who is really stressed because they would like to be back in somebody's arms. These two they appear to be lovers, but I'm wondering if this is autumn of youth. I don't know if somebody is really stressed out. It feels like there's a mother influence that got in the way and staying in the way of a romance for a very long time. And all of a sudden, it's the awareness that there's been a great passage of time. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius could be the heart of this. 9 of Wands, wounded energy. King of Swords, definitely parental figures all over this. And a hidden love interest that has been wounded. You know what? I'm going to just go ahead and simplify this and say it appears that, and I'm going to go ahead and say a King of Swords who still comes across as somebody who puts themselves underneath the mom and dad, even if he's, 65-year-old individual. It's as if he hasn't realized that he's actually a grown up and aged, because he's been kowtowing to a parental influence, specifically a mother figure, for a long time. And suddenly time has flown. Once upon a time, he was in love with whoever this is. the woman in blue. And it was kind of like, I don't know if he got caught up in this idea of like, oh, it's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet, you know, we want to be together, but you know, there's forces working against us. You know, our parents won't let us be together. And then a bunch of time passed, time just flew. And they're not young and they're not even middle aged. This is somebody who might be marching into like 50s and 60s, but they still remember this as if it was yesterday, back when they let parents influence their decision about whomever this feminine is, who is somehow always on the outskirts. She was the forbidden fruit. She was that love affair. It's so terrible that our mom and dad won't let us be together. But I'm thinking that this was somebody who was, maybe they thought of themselves like a teenager, but I'm thinking that they were full grown adults. These are like 30-year-olds. So I'm thinking that their perception of their age is really off. And now many years passed, or much time has passed, and it's even more apparent that this character has to understand that they were an adult back when this thing began, and now years have passed and they're actually like middle-aged, and they're still under this impression of, you know, yeah, but my mom and dad still decide. And, you know, there's the wounded lover, the forbidden fruit that I wasn't allowed to be with. But in their mind's eye, she's still this youthful, beautiful thing. They still think of themselves as a kid, but they're actually a king of swords, or they're supposed to be. So what is this with the Empress? Is this still the idea that I have to, you know, like a mother figure has to still tell me what I'm allowed to do? No, we have the Sun. Okay, so they're finally thinking, for whatever reason, that they can now pursue the person that they have wanted to. I don't know. Maybe their parents have actually, you know, they don't have such a sway over this person anymore, over this King of Swords, and now they're like, I want to marry her. Because I'm hearing that song, I'm gonna marry that girl. It's Rude by Magic. I'm gonna marry her anyway. But the thing is, so much time seems to have already passed. The autumn of youth and that Knight of Swords, time passed really, really fast in their mind. But they still think of themselves as super young, and she's super young, but finally now they can be with her. Page of Pentacles, Three of Swords. I feel like in their mind, they do not measure time the way time actually works. Because here they are, again, very youthful. They think that they're going to send a picture of themselves and a letter. And somehow it's like in their brain, oh, it was so stressful when mom and dad wouldn't let us be together, even though we were in our 30s or 40s. Now 10 years have passed and we're in our 50s, 60s. Finally, I can marry the person that I want. I'm going to send a picture of me. I'm going to reach out and, you know, we'll just address how sad it was that we, you know, our parents kept us apart. I don't know why I know why I keep getting the vibe that they keep thinking that they're really young and they're not. It's because of what we see on the cards and that autumn of youth thing and the, you know, people keeping us apart kind of vibe. It's like they never understood that they could or should be in charge of their own life. What about the Three of Swords? They want to send this letter. Ten of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. It really still comes across like in their mind, she's going to be so excited to see me. I'm going to come in and now I'm like this. They see themselves as this knight, this hero almost. They're in armor here. They're in armor here. They're surprising her. It's almost like they've built this fantasy that she's going to be so excited to hear from me. I'm going to send her this picture of me where I look really good. It could be an old picture of them, but it could be how they identify themselves. I always look really good. This is my best hair day ever back in 1973. This is the picture I'm going to send with this letter. And she's going to be so excited to hear from me that it's pretty much just going to, you know, take away whatever pain and hurt there was because I'm coming in as a hero. See, I'm ready to go be with the person that I love, even though mom and dad didn't agree 10 years ago back when I was 40. But I'm a hero. This is a very strange message. I'm very sorry that this is such a strange message, but I just keep seeing, they keep saying that she didn't know the full story, right? She's blindfolded in their mind both of these times. They keep acting like something was beyond their control. It wasn't fair. She'll be so happy to hear from them. She never knew the full story. And now they can come in and she's just going to be super delighted to hear from them. Four of Wands, and she's going to want to marry them. This is how it plays out in their minds. Let me just say, universe, do you have a message on this, perspective on this for the 4th? Because this person seems to be, we have inspiration of pentacles. I don't know. This person seems to have this idea of how it's all going to go. And the universe says, well, anything can be a fantasy book, or characters can write any book of life that they want. There's free will. They want to send an offer. They want this to be the story. We have the 9 of Swords. But the story might be a nightmare story. We have synchronicity. Hang on. We have the Ace of Wands, or excuse me, Action of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands, but it's in the reverse. We have the 5 of Swords. This, from the universe's perspective, is kind of like, I don't know, this looks like a book of fairy tales to me, and then nightmares to me, and then like magical hopes, wishes, and dreams for synchronicity, and kind of like I don't know if in their mind this is how it all played out. It's not that they were inconsistent. It was that, again, other forces were blocking all of this. And so, the universe says, well, the story that they want to tell, the story that they want to write is this. Is it true, though? I don't know. I don't know that any of this is true. What's the message just for them? The King of Swords, the message for them is to speak the truth. What is the message just for her? To listen, with the 3 of Cups, to listen if there's truth, and to hear the whole story, and then, listen with obviously like ears that would be like really hearing things and allowing for truth to be spoken, allowing to understand what has shifted, what has changed. Maybe everything that they're about to say is spot on. Maybe there has been something weird about timing, and there has been something strange about power dynamics, but things are different now with that Death card. And we're going into Year of the Snake pretty soon here. Higher self. The message to her is to, especially if she does still want something from this person and she wants to hear them out, then she's got to listen to the full story. If they're willing to explain the full story, but only her higher self will know if there's a chance for like reconnection, resolution, or if this is just the closure, the moment of closure. But I think listening to the truth, at least from the way they perceive it, could be really useful for her, is what this says. It doesn't say how it's going to end. It doesn't say if they're getting back together. It just says for her to hear what they believe is the truth, the full story. Because they kept saying she didn't know the full story. So I don't know, very, very odd messages in there about like some kind of family oppression, and then like passage of time and power dynamics that were kind of a very interesting, strange discombobulation in that. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up. Bye.